Hello everyone, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I got something really neat for you. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the Pumpkinhead figure from Trick or Treat Studios. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at him in packaging, and we're going to take a look at the figure and his accessories, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on him. And just remember, if you do like this video, go ahead and check out my horror and sci-fi playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. So here he is in packaging. I love the packaging for this. I really do. I love how they have Pumpkinhead's face here in the blue. You got Pumpkinhead here. Scale collectible 1 1/2 inches and what have you. Open this up. Alright. You get a good look at the figure. So you have this nice window here where you can see his two alternate heads and cross. Over here, you can see him in the background here. This is like the scene where he was entering the church. Nothing can call him off. I like that. That's pretty neat. That's what the old lady eventually winds up telling Ed. So that's really cool how all that opens up. This side, you got Pumpkinhead here. Syndicated collectibles. Okay. The back, you got the neck charm that Harley's son gave him, which is pretty neat. I do like that. Then you got Pumpkinhead, and you got all your credits here. On this side, Pumpkinhead, and that. The top of it is an open window. And then underneath you got your legal. So, with all that being said, let's open him up and see what he's about. So here he is out of packaging. He's an awesome looking figure. I love the overall look to him. He definitely captures that menacing look from the movie. Now, one thing I do want to let you know in advance, he is a little top heavy. So sometimes when you position him, he wants to fall forward. So you might have to use like a stand that comes up and connects to his hip with him. So far, this one is working. We're going to see how well this works out. But I definitely want to let you guys know he is a little top heavy and he does want to move forward. So with that being said, let's start off with the rotation. So you got this side here. You got the back. You got this side and back around to the front. Now there's a lot of really cool detail into this figure that I'm really liking about him. So let's bring him up a little bit closer. First off, the head sculpt is beautiful. I love the overall look to the head. It definitely captures the look from the movie. And then if you look in his body, you get all these shading lines that really brings out all the detailing and stuff. Even when you look into his legs, you get like these veins in there that look really cool, you know. And then you have his claws and what have you. And then even down to his tail, like you have like this little piece here on his tail that looks really cool. So he is definitely, they did a lot of really good work into this figure. Like I said, see how he's very top heavy. All right. So I do have to lean him back a little bit at this point in time. But now let's start going through some of his points of articulation. So first off, the head does move. Doesn't I've been having problems keeping the head on. It is on there. It just wants to pop out. I might put some heat on there to soften it up, to let it sit a little bit better. All right. You got a shoulder joint here. All right, with a swivel. You have an elbow joint. And you do have a wrist joint. It's tight. All right. This arm up too. You have a joint right here underneath the ribs. And you also have a torso joint in there as well. Spin them around this way. You have a thigh joint. Okay. A knee joint. All right. You have a joint right here. I guess that would be considered an ankle joint. All right. So you do have that joint there. And you do have, which would be, I consider, a legitimate ankle joint down here. Then you spin them around to the back. There's a joint here at the base of the tail, and the tail is like a bendy style material, so you can move that around. So overall, other than being a little bit top heavy, I like this figure so far. I think he's pretty cool looking. All right. Like I said, he definitely does want to try to lean forward on you. You know. So it's just a matter of trying to find his balance spot. All right. Like put it a little bit towards the back here. There we go. All right. So now he comes with a couple different accessories. First off, he has a wooden cross. Now, spoilers, if you remember in the movie, there was a spot where he goes into an old church chasing the kids down. And he sees this, and because he's a demonic entity, he wasn't happy with it, and he smashes it onto the ground to break it. But he does come with this. That is pretty cool. He comes with a holding hand for it. All right. And he comes with two alternate heads. So he has this one here with the closed mouth. Right. And then he has this one that's kind of like an evil smile to it. So I like all the accessories that he comes with. Now the only thing, and this is just a personal thing, this isn't nothing against the figure. I think it would have been really cool if, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen this movie, if one of these heads was the Ed Harley head. So near the end of the movie, when Ed Harley is trying to destroy this thing, he injures himself, and then he realizes that it's linked to him. And when it looks at him, it has his face on its head. And I think that would have been a really cool, creepy head for this. But, that's just me personally. That's something that I personally would like to see. I don't find it as a flaw in the figure. So with that being said, let's start seeing how well some of this stuff works with them. So first off, let's swap this hand out. Maybe. Oh, that's tight. That's really tight. You know what? We're going to get the hot water for this guy. All right, so I brought down the good old bowl of hot water. We're going to have stuff sit in it for a minute or so. I got like all his parts in there, so yeah, because everything is like really tight on him, really, really tight. So I don't want to risk breaking anything, as you saw in my earlier video with Cliff Burton. He almost broke, so I'm not taking any chances with this figure. So I'm going to let this sit and heat up for a minute. I got both of the alternate heads in there as well. Usually it don't take too long to heat up. Should just pop out now. Baby. Oh, that's in there. Ooh. All right, let that sit for a hair longer. Yeah, that's really, really tight. I also got the alternate hand in there as well. When that's soaking the hot water. So, that'll be nice and soft when. There it goes. Okay. So finally got that hand off. Now let's get this hand out of there. All right. And the other good thing about softening it up too is it'll also make it easier to get the cross in his hand. So as you see, the hand fits on with heat. And the cross fits in there just as well. Now the cross might fit a little loose in here just because these fingers are a little loose because they're soft because of the hot water. But, you don't really want it sitting in there too great anyway. So now let's pop off this head and see how well the other two heads work. So first you got this more mellow head. Yeah, that popped on there really easy. No issues. Pops right off. And then you get this one here as well. And he pops right in there. Kind of like that head a lot, actually. That looks like really cool. So with a little bit of heat, everything seems to swap out pretty well with him. And he stands okay once you find his balance point. And that's the issue with him, finding the balance point. So All his accessories seem to work very well with him when use of heat. So my final thoughts on this figure is I love this figure. I think he's a great figure overall. All his joints move very well. Yes, I did need to use hot water to swap the heads and hands, but these days that's pretty common with most of your collectible figures, so that's not a big deal to me. His accessory fit well in his hand as well. I love all the detail to him, from the highlights to the veins to all the detailing to his faces. So overall, I think he's a great figure. Now, the only thing I would probably change about this, and once again, this is just a me thing, this is nothing against the figures. I would have liked to have seen a head with the Ed Harley face on it. I think that would have been a great addition to this figure. That would really put it over the top for me. But even with that being said, I still think he's an excellent figure. I think he would go great with any of your horror collections and figures and memorabilia. So with that being said, I hope you all did like this video. If you did, go ahead and check out my horror and sci-fi playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.